Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I created Cupcake Queen, which was requested by Surprise Toy Power on YouTube, so thank you for the suggestion. Oh, I am always dropping these little guys. Anyways, she's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I used to create this character. This is just some scrap clay that I had, some brown, dark brown and light brown. So I'm just going to be using some of this, and then I've made 2 little feet and 2 little hands, plus a little teeny tiny little nose there, and then also be using some to make the little crown right there, and then of course some white for the cupcake swirl on the top, and some pink for the little wand. It looks, I'm assuming it's like a little apple or something there, like a little wand. And then I just rolled out some for the sparkles. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I created this little character. So I'm going to make a basic cupcake shape. Something like that. And once it's baked and cooled down, it won't be this color anymore because I took some gold paint and painted it over. So really you can use any kind of clay. Scrap clay is good because since you're going to be painting over it, it doesn't matter what it looks like. So I'm going to stick the 2 little feet here on the bottom. And there are 2 little, looks like 2 little bows on top of each foot. So I'm just going to make the feet just a little bit smaller, and I'm just sticking them to the front instead of underneath. So make another little foot there. So just like so. And I'll just set aside these little pieces of clay because I'll use those to make the little bows. So let's see here. I'll go ahead and just kind of twist our clay a bit, and we'll make the top part. And I'm just going to go ahead and swirl that around. And we'll just add to it as we go. Now I do find sometimes the white clay doesn't always end up white after you bake it, so I just take some white paint and brighten it up a bit. It's a good little trick. And I think just a little tiny piece on the top should do it. So there we go. So I'm just going to set that aside for now, and I'm going to make the little wand. So I'm just going to roll out a piece there and make a little tiny ball. And stick that in there. So this will be the little wand that he's holding, or she's holding. I'm not sure actually, I'm assuming this character is a female, but I might be wrong. I guess if it was a male it would be maybe a cupcake king. So since it's a queen, I'm assuming it's a female. So I'll paint the little, or put the little nose on there. And I'll make 2 little holes at the side. So I think my favorite part about this one was actually getting to paint it gold. It made it look really shimmery and metallic, and so that was really fun. So I'm looking forward to painting this one too. So just gonna push down so we have 2 little arms, and I made this one a little bit longer because we're gonna pop the little wand right on there. So just like that. And I'm gonna make 2 little tiny bows for the feet. So what I'm gonna do is just take a little piece of clay like this, and if you just make 2 little pinches in the middle and then square up the edges, you can make like a little tiny bow shape, kind of just like that. So something really simple. And I'll just stick that right on top of the one shoe. So you can see that. It'll probably show up better too once I paint it, because you'll see the detail. So again, just take another little piece of clay and just pinch it in the middle and make little indents there. So there's another little bow. Pop that on top. So there we go. We have the little bows on the feet, and now we need some sprinkles. So I'm just using some pink, cutting out little tiny pieces. They can be all different sizes. And just kind of roll it out until you get a little long shape like that. And I'll just go ahead and stick them on. So if there's any pieces that you don't want to show, you can just kind of cover them up with sprinkles. Now this one I'm going to move because I do have to make room for the little crown here. So once you put the sprinkles on, I'm going to take and flatten out a piece of the clay that we used. So I'm just going to cut out a rectangular shape like that. I'm just going to make, whoops, it's hard to show you because it keeps falling out of my hand here. So you have sort of a shape like that. I'm just going to lay that right across, like so, and make a little tiny circle for a little decal. So, I mean, if you wanted to, you could put even like a little tiny gemstone or a colored piece of clay. That might look kind of neat. And we're almost done. All we need to do, there's a little tiny bow on this one here. So for that, I'm just going to roll out some of the brown clay and make a little tiny loop there. And I'm just going to trim that off and set it aside. And then do the same for this one. And once we put them together, you have like a little, it looks almost like an infinity sign. And just put that right on there. And then once it's on the clay, you can just kind of fiddle with it. There, so I've just attached a little tiny bow on there. So again, once it's baked and cooled down, we'll paint all of this brown with the gold paint. So it'll be really shimmery and it'll look like our finished one over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and bake our little Cupcake Queen for a half hour at 275 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, so I've taken our Cupcake Queen out of the oven and let it cool down, and I'm going to paint it with some of this Crafters acrylic. Again, I just got this at the dollar store, but it's a really good metallic gold. So I'm going to give it a couple coats, just let it dry in between. So I'm just going to paint it once just to show you, and then once that's dried and I've gotten enough coats on there, then I'll go ahead and paint the face on. And you don't have to put a lot of paint on. It's best to put thin coats, then it will dry faster, and then you'll get an even coat. So I'll let that dry and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've gone ahead and painted the gold. So this was a couple coats, and I painted on the eyes and the little red mouth, and all I have left to do now is just to put the white detail in. So lately what I've been doing is just painting the eyes in black and then just going in and adding the detail with the white. So you can see there's the two little white half circles, and then just a little tiny dot. Just put a bit more paint on my brush. And there we go. So there's our finished little Cupcake Queen. And thanks again to Surprise Toy Power on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And most of all, I hope you guys find my tutorials easy to follow along. And I know I have a number of Instagram followers that are Shopkins lovers. So I'm really excited to see your creations as well. So I will see you guys next time. Bye!